We all know that plants need water and sunlight to survive. But what happens when there's too much sunlight and not nearly enough water? Most of us would assume that life is unattainable in these conditions, but the Sonoran Desert of Arizona proves this wrong. Today I'm going to be discussing 3 of Arizona's most important native plants. These plants are masters of survival, as they're able to thrive in extreme temperatures and during severe droughts. Learning about how these plants survive in the harsh desert environment can teach all of us important lessons about resilience. I've lived in Arizona my whole life, so I've grown up around these plants. Living in Arizona in the summer, you need an air conditioning to survive, so I've always been interested in how these plants are able to survive outside 24/7. I've researched each plant and their role in the environment to prepare for this speech. My goal today is to talk to you about 3 significant plants native to Arizona. First, the saguaro cactus, second, the creosote bush, and lastly, the palo verde tree. Often when we picture an Arizona desert, what comes to mind is cactus, so let's start there. First, we'll talk about the saguaro cactus. The saguaro cactus is an important and iconic symbol to Arizona. It's featured on the Arizona license plates, and the flower of the cactus is the state flower of Arizona. As you can see in this picture, the flowers bloom from the arms of the cactus. The cactus is native to the Sonoran Desert and it lives there exclusively. The saguaro cactus is recognized for its size and shape. According to the United States Environmental Protection Agency, the saguaro cactus can grow to over 40 feet and live for 200 years. It's the largest cactus in the United States. To continue, it plays an important role in the ecosystem. It's the home to many creatures. Woodpeckers create homes in the trunks, and then other birds move in after the woodpeckers move out. Large birds also use the arms of the cactus for nesting. It's also an important food source. The fruit, which ripens in the summer, has important nutrients for some desert critters, and some of the larger creatures eat the flesh of the cactus. The saguaro has really adapted to its environment. Even down to the roots, it's a master at gathering water. It has an extensive root system close to the surface to gather rainwater, and then sends down one taproot about 5 feet deep to reach that underground water. The interior is like a sponge, so it can hold water for a long time, and the exterior is able to expand to hold more water. It's also coated in a waxy material so less water is lost to the air, and those hard spikes that we all know are to stop other creatures from stealing the water inside. Now that we know about the saguaro, let's move on to one of the less well-known plants. The second plant I'll be talking about is the creosote bush. The creosote has lots of interesting qualities. The official name is Laurea tridentata due to its 3-toothed leaves. It has a really unique lifespan. An individual creosote can live for about 100 years, but when the inner stems start to die, they send off clones that branch out so it's able to live for a really extended period of time. The most famous of these is king clone, and it's 11,700 years old. The creosote has a really distinct scent. It's that desert rain smell. This is because when it rains, the creosote sends out chemicals. However, these chemicals can be poisonous, so creosote should be handled with care. It does have some medicinal uses. Indigenous tribes have used the creosote for various ailments, but recent studies have found that the creosote can cause liver and kidney damage, so again, handle with care. Moving on to the ecological importance. According to the United States National Park Service, the creosote's dense leafy structure provides shade and shelter for lizards and nesting for birds. While it's toxic to some, the creosote is food to others. Jackrabbits eat the leaves, and insects and reptiles eat the seeds and flowers of the creosote. Over 20 species of bees pollinate the flowers and eat the nectar. The creosote also has unique adaptations. The leaves are small, so less water is lost through them, and they have that waxy coating. They also are able to fold down during drought to avoid the sun. The creosote is able to remain dormant for long periods of time and still survive. It prohibits other large plants from growing nearby by that chemical it sends out when it rains. Other plants can't grow because the chemical is toxic, so the creosote is able to save more water for itself. Now that we know about the creosote bush and its features, let's learn about one final plant. The last plant is the palo verde tree. It has many distinct features, including its unique coloring. As you can see in this picture, it has bright yellow leaves and a green stem. Palo Verde in Spanish literally means green stick, which is how it's got its name for its green stem. It's the state tree of Arizona, and it can live for hundreds of years. It only grows about 20 to 40 feet, and it's often featured as a street tree here, so you can find it in a lot of the neighborhoods in Arizona. It plays a big role in the desert ecosystem. According to the Arizona Sonora Desert Museum, it's really important in helping saguaro cacti grow. It serves as a nurse plant for saguaro cacti, which means that the wide-reaching branches of the Palo Verde are able to provide shade and moisture for the cacti. It's also food for many creatures, as bees pollinate the flowers and the seeds are a nutritious meal for some wildlife. Humans can also eat the seeds. You can eat them fresh from the pod, toasted, or they can be ground and used as flour. It also has many adaptations. That green bark isn't just for show, it's crucial to its survival. This is because the Palo Verde, unlike other trees, does photosynthesis not only in its leaves, but in its bark. This way, when it needs to shed its leaves during drought, it can still survive. It also has a deep underground root system to reach water stored below, and the winding roots help prevent soil erosion so it can grow on the rocky slopes of the Sonoran Desert. We've now learned about the Palo Verde tree and its importance, so let's review those 3 plants. I've discussed 3 native plants of Arizona. First, the saguaro cactus, an icon in Arizona that's a food source and home to many and an expert at water storage. Next, the creosote bush, creator of that desert rain scent, an important shade, and a dominant plant in desert survival. Finally, the Palo Verde tree, the state tree of Arizona with that important green bark, deep roots, and the benefits to desert plants and animals. The desert may seem harsh and barren at times. Although it can be unforgiving at times, we've learned that even in the toughest environments, life always finds a way. And here are my cards.